So congratulations if you made it to the stage. So now it's time for us to test our session and see how it works. And I'm just going to be making a correction here. This is supposed to be a method, cookie parser. So we put our parentheses. So we just want to test this and see how it works. So for that, I'm just going to be making a controller. I'll just make that a controller on the test. So I quickly made a controller here, and here is the controller. So the controller is called test, and it's doing nothing much, but we're just trying to console.log out the section to see what we're going to be getting from the section. So that's what we're doing, and then here is the route, and the route to that is just test. So this is just for testing purpose. So if we go to http://4000 then /test, we should be able to see what we have here. So we're just going to do that. So that's :/test, and I'm going to run the application. So npm start. Okay, I need to save this. Okay. So now let's run this and see what the output will be. So if I hit this now, we're going to just wait for the response. And here we go. And the response was sent to us, testing. So let's check out if the section was actually consoled out. So let's check our terminal. Yes, we're going to be seeing something on our terminal because we actually consoled out this section. So let's read that out. So it shows that a section has been created, right? And the maximum age of the section is this. That was what we set the other time. Is that okay? And it said HTTP only and secure is true. So with this, it means that a section is actually created. But how do we create a section variable? Don't forget, the purpose of doing this is for you to be able to save some data and make them to be persistent all through the application. So I want to go through the tests now. So quickly, I'll go through the test route, and I'm just going to, okay, I think I created it in user controller. I'm going to be taking this off, but this is just for testing purpose. So I want to create a section variable. Now creating a section variable, you do request.section. So you want to access the section, you do request.section. I want to create a section variable. So to create a section variable, so I'll call this section variable. So to create a section variable, you're going to say request. Now you're going to choose a name that you want to call this. Let's assume we want to call this name. So we just created a variable on it, so we can give it a string. Now this could be anything. We could save in some, objects in here, as in some arrays of maybe colors and so on and so forth. It could be objects. It could be objects like this. We could save some objects here and say name. Okay, let me do that. I think I should just save in some objects. Because say name is James and age is 20. So we can save this on this section. So what it means is that anytime we go to section.name, I think I should use something else apart from the name, because we may likely use name again. So let's just call this section.test, right? So anytime you have a variable called section.test, you're going to be passing all this. It means that it's going to hold all this variable here. So this variable is going to be available everywhere in our route. So we're going to test that out quickly. So here we go. I'm just going to create another route. As you can see, this was created, another controller. So this was made in this controller. So I want to create another controller, and I'll just call that controller test2. So I'll copy paste, and I'll call this test2. And I'm just going to be adding some stuff to this test2. Okay. I'd like to add Okay, so we're going to call this test2, and right here, we're just going to control out the section variable. So the section was actually created here. This variable was created here. This is a different controller entirely. So we want to see if it's going to be persistent to all controllers. That is the aim of creating this section. So we could have it persistent to all controllers. So, but let's see if it is persistent to this controller. So it was actually created here. And oh, I think I actually took off. Okay, yeah, it was created here. So let me take this off. I don't need this here. And here we're just going to console.log at the section, and let's see the new section that has been created now, because we just said this is going to be set to this. And we want to access that which was set to this here. So it can be accessed in any controller. So let's just say testing. So as usual, we can save this and quickly go back to this route and create a route for it. So the route for it is just going to be called test2. And it's going to take test2, and it's going to take this controller called test2. So that's fine. So we can save that quickly. Okay, so let's go to /test2 and see what we're going to be getting and see if we can access that controller. So if you get request /test2, then we run that. Right now it's saying testing, that's the response. So let's go to the console and see what it's going to bring out. So right here, we can find some stuff here. Okay. Here it told us the expiring date, but we're actually trying to see if we can have a section variable created in it. I think the section variable wasn't created, but let me quickly run that again and test again. The first time the section variable was created, and it was called, it was an object. Okay, let me try something very simple and see why it's not persistent. Okay, right here, we're going to be having request.section. At first, where was the test2? We sent this to this. So request the section, the test, and this was equivalent to this. So we're setting an object here, and we're trying to access the objects in another route. Okay. Okay, we just have to correct some certain things here. Here we have the secured to be what true, because we're not using this on HTTPX and we're just for testing purpose. We're just going to take off this property, and yeah, I think that's all we need to take off on the app.js. And let's see if every other thing is actually intact so we can test that out. Okay, so the moment of truth now. So let's go back and show you what the route was, the controller was actually saying. Okay, here in this controller, we created the controller, right? Sorry, we set a variable to this controller. I want to see if we can access from this controller if it is persistent. So we control.log it out. So if you want to, print out anything that is saved in a section, you do request.section, right? So it's stored in request.section. So I just console it out. So I'm just going to be testing that now. npm start, and I'm going to save everything that is needed to be saved, including the app. So we'll save that quickly and wait for it to run. So we can go to our postman and quickly check, run out of the test first. So once we do that, so it's going to write, here is the first one. So it has been created. So I just ran the first one that creates the, section. So it's time for us to test for the second one to see if that section is actually persistent. So we'll run that. So this is the moment of truth. And we go back to our console. Right there in our console, we can see a new variable has been created. And this variable is persistent to others. As you can see that this is persistent. It's year, right? So we just added a variable. So this is how you can add a variable. So this variable could just be, now this is an object. This could be the data we are actually getting when we logged in, and it's going to be persistent or true. So this is how you create this, and this is going to live long as far as this date is concerned, right? And that is it. So this is how you set, and you're able to, access your cookie. In our next lesson, we're going to be applying it on how we can quickly log in into this. I hope to see you some other time. Thank you.